This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Whew. The last couple of months have been a very interesting transition for me just because of the direction that I'm headed with my photography. So as of late, I think I've been really putting a priority on just getting out and making more photographs, because I mentioned this in the past. I'm working on a body of work that hopefully I can get into a gallery and then possibly even do like a hardcover book for. And it's been absolutely taking up all of my energy, all of my time. And with that said, I've acquired a ton of new things that I don't even make videos about because I just don't have the urge to make them. But I thought today I would kind of show you guys what I've picked up over the last couple of months and really just talk photography for once. You know, it feels good to be back in front of a camera and just kind of showing you guys my creative process and what I have been kind of up to the last couple of months. If you guys are interested to learn more about the body of work that I'm creating, it's a street photography book. Definitely follow me over on Instagram. I always post updates. But enough of that, let's jump into today's episode. The last time I made a video like this, I think I was showing you guys my Leica M6, which came in, I want to say March or April. It was somewhere early on in the year. And in that process, I have accumulated a ton of different camera gear. So I want to start off with that first and show you guys the different cameras that we picked up, talk about them a little bit, and why I find them to be pretty interesting. So the first one here, let's start off with a lens, man. So this lens I actually got sent to by Viltrox. This lens is insane, and I haven't been able to make a video about it yet just because I've only been able to use this maybe a handful of times, and I don't want to put a review out without actually knowing how the lens works and operates and the results. And so there is a video coming on this lens here very soon, but I want to show it to you guys first things first. So this is the Viltrox autofocus 27mm 1.2 Pro lens. And for a Fujifilm lens, this thing is freaking huge. I mean, let me put this on a camera. So a 27mm lens on a Fujifilm camera with a crop is going to end up being like a 40mm. But here is the lens, ladies and gentlemen, on my Fujifilm X Pro 3. As you guys can see, it's a pretty big lens. Now, it has to do with the max 1.2 aperture. I mean, look at that very nice front element. It is gorgeous, and it is actually really freaking sharp. So maybe do a little video where like I shoot with it on location, but it is turning out to be, as of right now, one of my favorite portrait lenses for the Fujifilm camera. I also picked up a little flash here. So this flash is the Lightpix Lab M20, the Flash Q M20, I believe is what it's called. Pretty nice flash, and what I really like about this is that you can actually put it onto your Sony, your Fujifilm, your Ricoh even. It's a nice compact setup, but one of the best parts is you can click a button right here, and now you have a wireless off-camera flash. So if you're doing things like street photography, I mean, you can essentially just hold this up right here, and it is a fully manual flash, and you could literally shoot this with an off-camera flash like this here. So that is pretty cool. I've been using this a lot on my Leica because having an off-camera flash without having the flash sync cable around my neck is really nice. So far, so good. I don't know, I still gotta put it through its paces. More importantly, you guys, I picked up a brand new Minolta camera from our time in Atlanta at KEH. So while we were touring the KEH headquarters, I was looking through and I actually found this exact camera. But if you want like a fully mechanical Minolta SLR that actually Leica had like a weird influence on, I think they worked on it together, definitely pick yourself up one of these cameras. So this is the Minolta XD11. This camera, you guys, is insane. For what it is, it's probably one of the best feeling and shooting Minoltas that you can get. So the XD11 and probably the X700 are my go-to favorites. And in my opinion, you guys, with the 45mm f2, this is the perfect starter camera. Fully mechanical, you got a nice built-in meter. And I've been having a lot of fun just shooting with this thing. I'm actually really happy with this pickup because I wanted a new Minolta for such a long time. And lastly, you guys, we have a camera that I broke after 1 week of owning, and I don't even know how. Okay, actually I do know how, but you guys check this out. I've always wanted a panoramic camera, but I don't want to pay for an X-Pan. So I got this one right here. This is the Horizon 202, and it is a panoramic swing camera. Now, what's really interesting about this is this thing right here, this little brown piece of metal. I want you guys to just check that out as I take a photograph. I don't know if you guys could see that. So you could change the shutter speeds and the aperture up here, but I mean, just look at that thing swing. And again, this is a fully mechanical camera. Everything from the shutter to, you know, winding it is all done internally, and you know, you don't need any batteries. Now, I did break it though. Film rewind crank broke on me, and it was a little difficult to get the film out, so I put gaffer's tape on it just to make it a little bit softer so I could turn it manually. Other than that, you guys, I'm really excited to shoot this thing. I'm actually gonna go tomorrow to shoot some landscapes. I got a Pentax 6.7, but I'm planning to shoot some medium format along with the Horizon 202 and get some really nice landscapes. So stay tuned for that video for sure. So those are all of the different camera gear pickups that I had over the last couple of months. The next thing that I want to show you guys are some photo books. And I always stress this on the channel, photo books are some of the best ways to learn composition, to learn more about photography, but to also just get more inspiration. You know, when I don't feel like going out to shoot, I know that, you know, my creative muse hasn't been stimulated. So one of the best ways to do that, for me at least, is through photo books. And I have a few right here that I want to show you guys. But before we jump into that, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to our sponsor for this episode, the good folks over at Squarespace. Squarespace is your all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. One way to get you to stand out from the crowd is to have your own professional, dedicated website under your name. Now, Squarespace has all the tools you would ever need to get your website up and running within minutes, from award-winning templates that you can choose from to get started with. You even have pages for an e-commerce shop, a gallery portfolio, and one of my newest favorite features, the video page, which allows you to directly upload video to your website or even through a URL link, thus helping you promote your creativity all in one space and standing out from the crowd. So to get started today with your own professional website, head over to squarespace.com/KingJapes and enter promo code KingJapes at checkout. You guys can get 10% off of your first purchase of a domain or a website. This could be a great holiday gift to yourself, and I highly, highly recommend you definitely do this. Huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. All right, guys, so I picked up 4 different books, and actually all of them were from Half Price Books or a thrift store. And here are the 4 books right here. Oh, Jesus Christ, okay. So the first book that caught my eye this month was this book right here called Chile from Within. And this has a ton of Chilean photographers. And what's really cool about this book is that it shows kind of like documentation of Chile and, you know, what they've been kind of going through historically. I would consider at least street photography. I mean, there's definitely an artistic twist to the images that you see within this, but it's still kind of documenting. So I don't know, if you were to take documentary photography and merge it with street photography, this is exactly what I would imagine. The entire book is, of course, in black and white, and I honestly really, really love that. And it's been a good inspiration for me because I've been able to look at, you know, how to shoot with wider focal lengths, like this one right here. This was definitely shot with like a 28mm. Just look at the detail and all of the people in the frame. Beautiful, beautiful book. So that is the first one, Chile from Within. And like, I don't know if you guys can see that. I got it for $9.99 from Half Price Books. Boom. You need to check out your local discount bookstore. They have some amazing books there. Another book that I actually got recently from Half Price Books as well, again, this is not an ad for them, is this one right here. So it's a little bit beat up. I don't know if you guys could see that. It definitely shows its age right here. But this book is called US Camera 1953 from 4 French photographers. Lots of really great photography inside of this book though, you guys. Everything from color to black and white. There's even a segment on like some of the cameras that these photographers used. But it's really good to just look at more work and get your eyes more accustomed to, you know, what these images look like. I think a lot of these were made for news agencies as well. And so you get a lot of this nice documentary style photography, and it just gives you more perspective on how to capture the world. If you are thinking of picking this book up, I, you know, do give you a little bit of a heads up. There are a couple of photos in here that are nude. Don't make the mistake that I made. I went to a coffee shop and I brought this book in there, and like I turned the page and there was a butt naked person just literally chilling there while I was drinking coffee. So don't make that mistake. The next book is called The Family of Man. Now, they actually made a different version of this. It's called The Family of Woman. The book was published through the Museum of Modern Art, New York, which, by the way, surprisingly enough, I actually got this hoodie from there. Really, really cool book though. I think one of the interesting things to see from here is all of the different photographers that are well known. So like William Blake, you know, he has some of his photographs inside of here. You got photographers like Russell Lee. He made this photograph right here on the right side. You got a lot of names in here. Dorothea Lange, you got Robert Capa. And I tend to really like these kind of collection books where they have different photographers and just, you know, different work inside, just because you get a little bit more value from, you know, seeing the way other people work rather than just being like a single monograph. And last but not least, you guys, probably my favorite photo book pickup the last couple of months I got from a thrift store. It was in our last thrift episode, and it is this one right here, Photographs by Annie Leibovitz. And this is between 1970 and 1990. Now it is a larger book, it has this front cover, and then there is an actual image behind this on the hardcover itself, which I'm not going to show. But Annie Leibovitz, man, her photography is so interesting. Like, I don't know how to describe it. There's a sense of candidness still with her photographs, even though she was mostly documenting people and, you know, they knew she was there, making photographs of people like in comfort. I don't know if that makes sense, but a lot of the people she made photos of, it looks like they're just doing their everyday things, you know, their everyday life, hanging clothes up, going on a drive. And I really like the images that she made when she was like on the road. Gives a sense of like some of the images that are very popular in today's time. So beautiful book, lots of great inspiration from all of these. And if you haven't already, check your local discount bookstores. They might have some insane photography books there. So that's gonna wrap it up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below some of the new cameras, the new camera pickups, maybe even photo books that you guys have had recently. And if you haven't already, subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, Minolta Gang.